Welcome to the Butterfly Mindset Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Butterfly Mindset Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Simi Awujo. What's up, Simi?
Oh, nothing.
I was thinking about saying it like the announcer always said it, but you know. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Well, you're leaving tomorrow.
Yes.
Where are you headed?
Going to Manchester
What are you headed there for?
to go play soccer or football.
Yeah, you got to get used to playing.
Go play some
football
for Man U.
It's a fun episode because we met when you were playing at USC, and now you signed with Manchester United, and you're off to across the pond to go play in England. I'm excited for you. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It is kind of crazy that 2 years ago I was playing for USC, and I think at that time I went to my first full team camp for Canada, and I never thought that 2 years later, especially before my eligibility was up, that I would be going to England to go play football, and especially for my childhood club, it's so surreal. It's also really sad because I've been hanging out with my teammates and my friends, and yeah.
Now I want to go back to that. You mentioned your childhood club. That was your dream club is Manchester United. But let's talk about childhood. Let's talk about growing up. Did you always want to play professional soccer?
I really didn't even know it was a thing that I could do. Really, yeah. I feel it was just so different growing up. It's you play club and it's okay, you're playing this and it's fun. And then I realized that I could go to college for it, and I was I can get a degree. But at the end of the day, it was I'm gonna play so that I can get a degree, and then just kind of use playing to elevate my education and leverage it and be able to get a job, I guess. And then as I started playing college soccer, I was oh, I could play pro.
Wow,
so,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, as I was younger, I thought oh yeah, I could go pro, but it wasn't something that felt as attainable just because I was a girl.
Yeah.
I would joke around with my dad oh, I'm gonna go play for Barcelona, because we grew up also watching Barcelona as well, but I didn't know that the extent to which those things were possible.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, and you grew up in Atlanta, mm-hmm. And did you play club your whole life, or how did that work? Did you play rec, or what did you do?
Yeah, I played rec. So when they put my brother in it, they kind of put me in it just by association. So I played rec when I was younger, and then once I was able to actually join a team, I think when I was 8 or 9, I joined a team, and then that's when I started playing club, and I played club all the way through.
Okay.
Up until high school. And
then how was that process for you going from club? Did you play academy, or did they have academy, or?
Yeah, I feel it was kind of different. We played, the equality, whatever, of academy for boys was, I guess, DA or ECNL. Yeah. So
Yeah.
And then the girls' academy was what they replaced DA with.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I guess.
And so when you were playing there, when you started looking at, okay, I want to go play college so that I could get a degree and so on and so forth, what were you looking for in a college, and why did you end up in Southern California from Atlanta?
It's so random. I genuinely don't know what I was looking for. Also, at the time, the college process was so different for us, for girls especially. You could start talking to colleges as early as 8th grade, 7th grade. So I had people, friends that were committing then. I committed in 9th grade. I didn't know anything about college. I was literally just starting high school.
Wow.
Didn't understand anything about what I wanted to study. But I kind of picked USC because it was in LA. There was this hype about LA and Los Angeles, life out here in California, that I was okay, I'll do it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then at the time, the coach, Kadani, he was really good friends with my club coaches. All of my club coaches that I played for always had great words to say about him, and we're all really good friends with him. So, like, they kind of swayed me in that direction as well.
Yeah.
Also knew a few other girls from Georgia that were going there, so it swayed me in that direction as well. And, like, I kind of just ended up at USC, not knowing anything about the school and never having visited, simply because it was in LA and because of who the coach was. So.
And what was your first, when was your first, like, call up to the youth national team?
It was right after my freshman season, so it was in January of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it a tournament? Was it a?
It was just like, it was like a camp before the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. And what kind of happened was, like, they just reached out to USC, like to Kadani, about one of my other teammates who's Canadian, and then he kind of just like shuffled in like me and Zoe, and then we literally just ended up all going to the camp to kind of see if like maybe we would make the team, and then we all made the team together.
Wow. And
it was kind of crazy because it was just like I went on a Zoom call, and then all of a sudden I was going to camp, and then I was going to like a big competition with them.
Wow, that's amazing. And so what do you think, like, because then you went on to get a call up for the senior national team, and then now you've been very successful with the senior national team. Like, what do you think, like, why do you think that you've been able to do that?
Well, I think a lot of it for me also has to do with just like faith and like believing. And I know that there's so many people like my mom, my grandma that have like prayed over me and like prayed blessings over me. So I think that that's like a huge element. And just also like my mom always believing in me. Like when I went to the youth camps and after the big CONCACAF competition, like wanted to go to the full team, but I like didn't perform and I wasn't called up. And then like my mom, when we were watching them perform at their CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, she's like, well, it's okay. You're going to go to the World Cup with them. And she's always believed in me. And she's saying that before I've even like ever been to a full team camp.
Yeah.
And then within the next year, like I'm going to the World Cup with that team. And I think also just kind of like believing in myself and like persevering. I'm like really hard on myself, but I feel like deep down, like I won't ever quit because there's a lot of people that have said no to me, and I guess here I am now.
And you I think that's like coming from coaching you and also like seeing your growth throughout this time. Like I think that's something that makes you a special player, is like the fact that like when it's time to get down to business, like you are 100% in, and there's no doubt, like we can depend on you, right? And I feel like a lot of coaches are looking for a player that's like just consistently there, that they know is going to perform, and you consistently output. So like, what does that look like off the field though for you? Like, do you have a certain diet? Do you not? Do you like, what is that for you?
For me, I mean, I would say diet. I need to work on that. Don't worry. It's on the New Year's resolution. It's been on there for like 3 years. But no, I think just like for me, like trying to recognize where in games like I could be better, I could do better, and like taking the time off the field to work on those sort of things, whether it's like with my trainer, like knowing specifically that, oh, this could have been better in this game, and then like going out on the field and training with AJ. I'll know him. And like getting better at those things.
You know, I interviewed AJ.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So just like recognizing those things, trying to like also just like watch film and stuff. And then for me, I feel like growing up, I put a lot of pressure on myself, like just as a kid, like when I was younger, before like, not before things got hard, but before it should have been as mentally taxing as it was. So like now that I'm older, I kind of feel like I try to just take a step back, take less pressure off when it comes to games. Like, don't try to be too much in the game-focused mindset, and just kind of keep it really lighthearted, because at the end of the day, it's something fun that I'm doing. Like, I'm not working a 9 to 5. I'm not working a job that's not necessarily like have passion about. Like, this is something that I'm passionate about. It's my dream job. So just like trying to be a little bit more lighthearted about it and like chill with myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
And you get to play kids game for a living and get paid. Like that was always my thing. It's like I get to go kick a ball around. Like why wouldn't I, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard work, right? Like it's a lot of discipline and it's a lot of focus. It's a lot of it is mentally taxing, you know, like conversations that we've had before your games or whatever, right? Like the mentality behind showing up on the field and giving it your all is a really hard thing, right? How do you deal with that pressure? Because like you've said it a couple different times. You said like, I'm really hard on myself. But like, how do you deal with that pressure?
I think like it's all been trial and error for me. Like, oh gosh. That was like a sniper.
It's a leaf.
It hit me so hard. Yeah, I feel like a lot of it's been like trial and error for me. Like I've said, like I am hard on myself. There's a lot of high pressure situations. For me, I just try to like, I like lean on the people that I like feel are always there for me and like I trust the most, especially those that are in a position that I'm in or have been in a position that I'm in. So like my coaches.
Yeah. Cyrus gets a call freaking out the day before a game.
Yeah. Cyrus gets a call. Whether that's even going to like sports psych in camp or out of camp, whatever it may be. And just kind of like, I don't know, like taking myself from like redhead to like a blue head, just like leveling myself out. What was the question?
How do you deal with the mental pressure?
Okay.
So you're saying talking to people about it?
Yeah, talking to people about it. I feel like it's something that I still like struggle with and something I can still be better at. One thing I will say is like with Canada, like the team is really, I would say, like close knit. When it comes to being on the field, we're all together, we're all behind each other 100%. And I have a lot of people on Canada that I can lean on as well on the field. Like Jessie Fleming is someone that I look up to so much, and she always has my back, and she always like lets me know that she has my back and will like give me words of encouragement. And just having people around me that believe in me helps me to just like then believe in myself and like pour that belief into what I do on the field. Yeah.
I think it's so important. Like that's so true with just life in general, right? Like the people you have around you at any given time are like gonna determine your mindset, right? And if you're around a bunch of people that have a bunch of negative mindset, like you could be the most positive person in the world, but the reality is you're gonna start having negative thoughts. So it's like you surrounding yourself and leaning into those people that are giving you that positive input and dealing with those emotions when they come versus just throwing them away, right, is really, really powerful. I think that's something that like since we've met, I've seen you have a lot of growth in, and that's why I want to talk about it, because like you're you know, from when you were starting on your first senior national team game to like where you're at now, is this huge growth. It's amazing. And I think that you've been able to notice, like, it's something else that you do really well that I think that, you know, I think maybe you don't even realize it, but like you're very grateful for the position that you're in. And that shows a lot because you have no ego to ask someone for help, which a lot of people in your situation will be like, no, I can figure it out. I can do this. But like, you have no ego to ask that question and say, hey, I'm freaking out. What the heck? You know what I mean? And I think that's powerful as a young player, like, especially you going into your next challenge. What are you excited most about your next venture with Manchester United?
I think I'm probably most excited about like the culture that surrounds football, like being somewhere where like every time you get to step on the pitch and every time you get to wear the jersey, like there are so many fans that are going to be there just to watch you guys and just to watch you like break records, like set the pace of the future, especially being women footballers. Like I think that's just so exciting. Like we know that England is a huge football country, and like there's chants, there's insane fans, there's like, it's just a great mentality out there. And I'm just so excited to be able to like share my passion with the people that come to watch us like in the games.
Yeah, when we were walking through Old Trafford, I remember afterwards you were like, man, like the club's history is like amazing, right? Like
Yes.
just to be able to represent that crest is a beautiful thing. Like and like you said, you're creating the new history because on the women's side, like there's not much history there.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Like I'm really excited. Like I don't think that I could do it with like a better club. Like I'm just so excited that it's Man U, especially like I've been to Man U camp when I was a kid. Like I've been to Old Trafford when I was a kid. My brother, like that's his team in the Prem. Like it's just so surreal because like if you would have told like my little 8-year-old self that was like taking a picture at Old Trafford, oh yeah, like you'll be playing here in your first ever professional game, like club game, I'd be like, what are you talking about? But it's crazy because it's literally a month away. Like it's right there.
It's happening. It's there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I know that little picture of you with the. I'm gonna have to get a hold of that picture. You know.
I know. Where is it? I need to post it.
You definitely should.
Yeah.
Now, someone that's 12, 13 years old. She's thinking about she wants to play professional soccer, but not sure if that's the future or whatever. What piece of advice would you give them?
I would just say like, one, literally just always have fun. Don't put that much pressure on yourself to play soccer pro. Like I know maybe you watch the US national team or you watch other national teams or you watch big competitions and the NWSL or whatever leagues you may watch and you think like, oh, that's where I want to be and that's what I want to do. And that's a great dream to have, but don't put pressure on yourself if that's not the dream that you realize. Because within that journey of trying to achieve that dream, like you could find another calling, another passion that's for you, and it could still be within that industry, maybe not doing the same thing that you wanted to, maybe not on the field in the way that you want to be, but it could still be like a fruitful dream. And I would just say also like never stop believing in yourself. Like I feel like there were a lot of moments growing up when I could have just just quit and just been like, yeah, this isn't for me. Like watching my teammates realize dreams that I wanted to realize and it's not happening for me at a young age can also just be so draining when it's supposed to be fun. Like you're not supposed to be 12 years old worried about the fact that your dreams aren't coming true. You literally have your whole life to realize those dreams. And I feel like there were a lot of moments where I could have given up, I could have quit. There were coaches that didn't believe in me, didn't want me on their teams, and like I always kept a positive mindset and a good attitude about it. And like I feel like that's got me to where I am. And then just also being grateful for where you are at. I think that's something that I do struggle with. And I think that's something that everyone struggles with in general is like you're always looking to the next thing, but you're never actually like sitting in the moment and appreciating where you've come to. And I like can attest to that. Like I committed to USC and that was exciting for a long time because there was a long period in between when I had to actually go there. And then I got there and I was like, okay, well I need to play. And then I started playing and I was like, okay, well I need to start. And then I started starting and I'm like, okay, well I need to score. Like there's always going to be something else that you're trying to look for, that you're trying to achieve. But just like being like, okay, like I'm playing. Like that is the goal that I wanted to reach. And like being grateful and like, kind of letting that feeling sink in first. Because even now I'm like, okay, like I'm on the national team. Okay, well I need to do this. Well, I need to do that. It will come. Like just let it all play out and it will come, and just be grateful for the moment that you're in, because some version of you before dreamed of being exactly where you are right now.
I love that. I can't even say it better. That was amazing, Simi.
Thanks.
I appreciate you. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you? Instagram.
Well, on Instagram, like my Instagram is Simi Awujo.
How do you spell it?
SimiAwujo. Instagram, probably the main one. I do have a LinkedIn profile. I need to like actually use that because I don't. But connect with me, and every now and then I'll go through my connections and like and connect.
You realize that's gonna get flooded now, right?
I'm gonna try.
We'll stick with Instagram.
We'll stick with Instagram. Instagram is really my main form of communication. It gets deleted sometimes because of how much I use it.
Yeah, perfect.
But perfect.
You're amazing. Thank you, Simi, for being on.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.